what's up guys, Chris here, back in another video. So today I want to talk a little bit about the A7 IV again. Now I've been trying to stay away from this camera because I think a lot of people are kind of talking a lot about this camera, and I worry about some of these rumors, but I do want to kind of get into this one because there is some interesting stuff in here that I'm personally interested in, that I've personally been asking for when it comes to Sony. So let's talk about it a little bit. Alright, so what we know so far in the rumor mill, again, this is just rumors, so kind of keep that, you know, where you want to keep it, you know, until this camera is officially released. Again, these are just rumors. Now, what we know so far is a launch in sometime in October, so sometime next month. If ship supply permits. Now, I want to say by this time last month, we already knew there was going to be an extension on, because it was supposed to be released originally in September. Well, the rumors anyway, and we had been notified that right around, I don't know, mid-August, that it was going to be pushed back to October, so we're like, okay, we got another month. We haven't heard that this month yet, so maybe we are sticking with the mid-September. However, let me tell you something, folks. If this camera does drop and it is something that you are interested in, you best jump on it, because I would suggest that probably around Christmas time, if this thing launches in October and you can buy it in November, I would expect around Christmas time that you won't be able to get your hands on it. And I hate that I'm saying this, because I want it and I'm probably going to be fighting you for it. So, a newly developed 33 megapixel sensor. Now, we've heard this before. Many of us in the so-called camera YouTuber industry, I think there's a lot of an agreement on it. This just seems like a weird number to me. It does to me, it does to a lot of other YouTubers out there. It seems like I can see 30, you know, I can see 35. 33 just seems weird. And especially a 33 megapixel sensor. Now, I definitely want to see a new sensor. I don't necessarily care if it's 24 megapixels, that's fine too. Like, you know, the A7S Mark II, or Mark III came out with a new sensor. That sensor was a 12 megapixel sensor just like the previous one, but it is a new sensor, so faster readouts. You know, you don't get the rolling shutter like you had in the older systems. So I definitely want to see a new shutter, a new sensor of some sort. And I don't really care what the megapixel mount, because it's going to be a hybrid camera. It's going to be somewhere 20 to 30 megapixels, right? So and we'll get into the next one, because 4K 30 video that's oversampled from 7K. I think the 7K is probably why we're seeing a 33 megapixel sensor. I haven't really done the math, so to find out for sure what you would require to be. 7K just seems like an odd thing to me. I thought everybody was pretty happy with the 6K downsampled that have been previous cameras, Sony cameras, for quite some time. So I think, and I also am hoping that 4K 30 is not the max frame rate. Now, we have not heard anything about 10-bit video. However, we're going to get into something just in a little bit that'll probably explain why there probably most likely is 10-bit video in this. Whether or not that 10-bit video is going to come at 4K 60, that's a different story, and that really doesn't bother me that much. I don't care if it's not 10-bit video in 4K 60. I have the Panasonic S5 over here, which is the normal camera that I use. Right now I'm on the ZV-E10, but the Panasonic S5 has 10-bit 420 and 4K 60, but it's also cropped. So I think that maybe we might see the same type of situation, which I'm okay with, as long as it keeps the price down, okay? 5.5 stops of in-body image stabilization. Again, a lot of other YouTubers, myself included, have been pretty much saying, okay, big deal. Every camera with IBIS now has 5.5 stops at least of image stabilization. Big deal. It's not something I really brag about. Now this is the big one to me. Same A7S 3 body design, so that would be amazing to me. I want the fully articulating screen. I want the bigger, larger grip. I want the record button on the top, just like the A7S Mark III is. That would be perfect. Full-size HDMI, I see this to be pretty far-fetched, folks, unfortunately. I know a lot of people are thinking, looking at this saying full-size HDMI. Man, that would be badass. Don't get me wrong. It would be awesome. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, being that this is the kind of, you know, yes, we have the A7C, and that's the entry-level full-frame camera, but I don't believe the A7C is the entry-level professional camera, whereas the A7 IV, to my opinion, is the professional camera. The A7 III, in my opinion, is absolutely professional. When I look at the A7C, which I own an A7C, it's over there on the ground charging, or over there on the table charging. I look at the A7C and I see this is, you know, a content creator, YouTuber camera. That doesn't necessarily mean professional to me. The S5 I see as a professional camera. The A7 IV I see as a professional camera. However, there's not another entry-level camera. Canon R6 doesn't have full-size HDMI. Panasonic S5 doesn't have full-size HDMI. Now the S1 does, so maybe, like I said, this would be awesome. I hope that this rumor is true. But let's be realistic, I'm not going to be surprised if it's not true. UHS-2 SD cards and CF Express cards. So the A7S III has the kind of dual memory card slot where you can use CF Express and UHS-2 cards. Now what that means is this camera, if this rumor is true, it's going to have some significant video features, right? Even because I don't think they will have significant photography features. And what I mean by that is I don't think you'll see 20 frames per second in burst mode, because then you would be really taking away from your A9 series of cameras. So I don't think it's going to require CF Express or UHS-2 for its photography features, but I do think it could require, you know, 10-bit video could be required for CF Express UHS-2 SD card slots. So I think that kind of leads us to believe that we're going to have some pretty awesome video features, and I think a lot of people out there are wanting to see 10-bit video on this, myself included. So I think that's, I mean, if this rumor is true, we will definitely have some significant video features. That's not to say we're not going to have great photography features too. This is a hybrid camera, folks, so it's going to be great, but I just don't think that they would, you know, put things that the A9 has, like that much of the things that the A9 has, you know, would to take away. I mean, you think about the A9 is like $4,500 or something along those lines. I don't think they're going to put a camera at $2,000 that's going to significantly, you know, dig into those sales. 12, 15 frames a second. I think the current one's 11 or 12 frames a second. Maybe it'll go up to 15 frames a second, something along those lines. These are just my, you know, speculation at this point, so kind of keep that. It is what it is, but interesting stuff. Now, again, these are the rumors, okay? So, who knows what this really means? It could mean we're about to get the most amazing camera ever made. It could also mean that these all could be joke. This all could be, you know, it could be Sony Alpha rumors getting trolled right now. So we can all just sit here and hope, right? Anyways, that's about it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Thank you all for watching.